right, from Coleman, Alabama, Premier Bank presents this very happy Christmas episode. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hopefully that old court case is getting out at the town hall down there about that guy that thinks he's Santa Claus. Man, that guy's a nut. Just kidding. If you've seen Miracle on 34th Street, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I got it. I had no clever response to that. None at all. That was perfect.
Thank you. I'll be here all day. We have a great episode lined up for everybody. It is just such a good day today. It's just, Christmas brings about a certain feeling.
So happy.
And it's just happiness, and we're all so happy down here at the station. So we're going to go ahead and kick things off today with the weather. Brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. Make the switch to Mitch. The average high today on the almanac is going to be 52 degrees. The record was 75 in 1964.
Ooh, that was a warm day.
That's a warm day. The average low 33. The record being set at the cold day, 1 degree.
Wow.
In 1989. Barely on the scale there.
Wow.
Sunset tonight at 4:43 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:51 a.m. Here's the forecast for today. The high is going to be 48 degrees. Overnight low, temperatures down 35. Tomorrow looks like we're going to have a high of 55 with a 50% chance of rain. So, good weather for today.
Yeah.
Means if you get some good outside toys, you can get out with your family.
It should be really nice and pleasant. A little warm, I think, for my personal taste on Christmas, but
at least it's not.
To be outside.
I would rather it be kind of warm and sunny
than nasty.
Than terribly rainy and cold.
Gross.
That is.
I do agree with that.
So maybe it'll end up being a little bit cooler and feeling like Christmas, I guess you could say. We have we have a great show lined up for everybody. We also have a Facebook friend.
We do. Let's see who our Facebook friend is. Reverend John Richter is our Facebook friend. That is my little buddy John Isaac with him there in the picture. And Reverend John likes the Revelations Quartet and Legendary Locals of Coleman County.
Always talking about how he loves quartets.
Yeah, he's a really big fan of Southern Gospel music. Reverend John is. And we're going to give him a sandwich from Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue, or a certificate for a sandwich, like all our Facebook friends and Twitter followers get. So just come by here, Reverend John, and pick up your certificate. Absolutely.
And of course, since it's Christmas, we have a very special day in history.
We do.
For today. On this day, December 25th, in the year 336, the first documented Christmas celebration takes place in ancient Rome. So we've been celebrating this for a long time in the world, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I wonder what they did. Like, how many of our modern Christmas traditions come from what? How they celebrated.
That's a good question. I think that would be something interesting to look up on this Christmas day.
Yeah, go do some research. Call us in and get back to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are your plans for the day? Are you going to spend it with family?
Yes, we will have Christmas at our house on Christmas morning. We have a pretty big age range at my house, so Christmas is always really fun. We also have a new kitten, and so we're going to try and not lose her in all the wrapping paper.
Right.
Because she's only about this big.
Right.
And Christmas afternoon, we will go to my grandmother's house, and all my mom's brothers and sisters will come, and all their kids. Okay. And so you pack about 30, 40 people in this little 2-story house, and we eat and we open presents and we watch movies. And
that's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
That's great. Yeah, we'll be.
What about you?
Well, that's kind of the same thing. We don't really get together with extended family, but since I am the oldest of 7, Christmas is still. With the youngest.
It's still a lot of fun.
It's still a lot of fun. We we get to go wake him up and do the whole Santa cave and that sort of thing. And it's not as if we still celebrate Santa or whatever. But it's just the environment and the atmosphere of opening presents and whatnot. So
do y'all have any cool Christmas Eve traditions that y'all do?
We actually a lot of people read the night before Christmas. We read the Christmas story.
We do too.
So we read it every Christmas Eve right before it's the last thing we do before we go to bed. But instead of reading the night before Christmas, we actually read the Polar Express.
That's another one of my favorites.
Yes, and so we read that book, and it's this really beautifully illustrated copy of the book.
I think that one won a Newbery Award, actually.
Yes, it did, and it's very it's just one of my favorite Christmas movies. If you haven't seen the Polar Express, you need to watch the movie because it's just a great Christmas time.
Yes, but read the book because the book is almost always better than the
movie.
In my opinion.
The book is better than the movie.
9 times out of 10.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun today, opening presents with everybody, and got to spend Christmas Eve yesterday with my brother and his wife. I was about to call her fiance, but it's his wife.
No wife.
Yeah, who live separate from us. So we got to spend our whole family together yesterday. So
good.
Yeah, so it's just been it's going to be a good day for everybody, and we just got such a good show lined up for everybody.
We do. I'm very excited.
We've got I know we're going to have Brad Steele as he's going to do a monologue as Joseph. I know some of you probably saw mine as the innkeeper yesterday on Christmas Eve.
And these are a series that were done at St. John's Church for Advent, right?
Yeah, for Advent.
And that's why y'all did those.
Yeah, so we were able to record those, and we're going to play them for you all for your enjoyment. Brad's is just really funny. I hope you guys enjoy that. We also have some great Christmas books.
Miss Deb Lastly came in and read some Christmas books for us, and some really great, again, quality Christmas books. They could probably be categorized as children's books.
Sure.
But the great thing about reading is that everybody, it appeals just to everybody, and especially Christmas stories.
Good stories.
I think. Yes.
Yeah, good stories will kind of, I guess, do the range of people, I think, connect with people. So we're really excited about all this going on. Don't go away. Go open some presents and come back because we're going to come back and we're going to come back and do the monologue from Brad. So we'll be right back.
In the nation, it's not always pretty, but add brand new belongings from Nationwide Insurance and we'll replace destroyed or stolen items with brand new versions. We put members first because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
I sell paintings of cats.
I sell antique cameras.
I sell mufflers.
Surfboard stemware.
I have no idea how to pack this.
I need help.
I need experts.
It's fragile. Can you be trusted?
The UPS Store Pack and Ship Guarantee. We pack it, we ship it, we guarantee it.
So if anything happens to this,
we'll take care of it.
I love logistics.
We pack it, we ship it, we guarantee it at the UPS Store.
Hi, I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Cullman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
This is a monologue written from the perspective of Joseph talking to Matthew. I haven't slept in a year, Matthew. Between Jesus waking up in the middle of the night and midnight messages from God, I'm exhausted. Don't get me wrong, I love little Jesus to pieces. I love being his earthly father. I love him even more when he sleeps through the night, if you know what I mean. And the swaddling clothes. Oh, we go through swaddling clothes faster than Mary knows what to do with them. I've seen enough you-know-what in the past year to last me a lifetime. And the stuff, oh, the stuff. I've built a camel seat, a stroller, a high chair, a crib. And that was just within the first week. Yes, I suppose being a parent can be stressful work. I guess it's a good thing I'm a carpenter. It's too bad swaddling clothes aren't made of wood. Seems like just yesterday Mary told me she was pregnant. I'm not gonna lie, Matthew, I panicked. Well, at first I was furious, and then I asked her who the father was, and she said, God. Then I panicked. All I could think about was, what was our family and friends going to say? How would they react? I mean, we weren't even married yet, and the pressure that comes along with being a parent, I just didn't know if I was ready. So, even though I regret it now, I decided to leave her. Just get up and leave town. It was a hard decision. I mean, Mary was the love of my life, but this all just seemed like too much to handle. So, I packed up my tools and my robes, and I decided to sneak out of town in the night while she was sleeping. I didn't mean to doze off, but when I did, an angel of the Lord visited me. It was terrifying. You've heard of bumps in the night? Try an angel choir. Yeah, terrifying. The angel, I believe his name was Gabriel, but don't quote me on that because it's really hard to tell who's who when there's a bright light shining in your eye. The angel told me to fear not, so I decided I'd better calm down. The angel then verified everything that Mary had told me. The angel told me that Mary had been chosen to bear the Son of God. The angel then told me that I should go ahead and marry Mary. And then the angel disappeared. Now, Mary was sound asleep. I tell you, before Jesus came along, that woman could sleep through anything. And as it turns out, Mary wasn't crazy after all. Mary was telling the truth. She had been chosen to be the one to bear the Son of God. So I decided I better stick around. We were married in a small ceremony, just family and friends. Mary's mother was there, and as you can imagine, she was very suspicious of me. I suppose you would be too, Matthew, given the circumstances. But it was a great day, and I knew I'd done the right thing. The months leading up to Jesus' birth went by rather quickly. In the days just before Mary was due to give birth to him, Herod called for a census. Now, since I'm from Bethlehem, I decided I would lead Mary there to register. I was a little nervous about traveling so close to her due date, but I thought, the midwives of Bethlehem are doing just fine, so I guess we'll be okay. We arrived at night, and I could tell that Mary wasn't feeling well. She looked tired, and if her mood was any indication, I knew something was afoot. I decided we should seek rest immediately, so I stopped at the first inn I saw. The innkeeper said there were no rooms available, I guess because of the census. Mary got very snippy with him. I felt bad about that. I mean, he was just trying to do his job, and he had no idea who we were. Oh, but Mary got very snippy with him. I guess it's understandable considering she was in labor. Oh, but that kind gentleman told us that even though he had no rooms available, he did have a stable out back that we could use, and we wouldn't even have to pay for it. I figured with all of the child expenses we were about to have to pay that it wouldn't behoove us to save some money, so I didn't even look for anywhere else to go. It's a good thing I didn't, because as it turns out, I wouldn't have made it anywhere else. Shortly after we got into the stable, Mary gave birth to Jesus. I always wondered how I would feel once Jesus was born. I knew I had been called to be his earthly father, but he wasn't my son. He was God's son. How would it feel to hold him and to know that he didn't belong to me? How would it feel when Jesus called me Father and yet I knew that he wasn't mine? Well, All of that changed when I saw him for the first time. He was the most precious, most wonderful child I'd ever seen. I felt immediately connected to him, protective of him, the way that any father would. And then I realized, we are all God's children, given to our earthly mother and father, but for a short time. And then I thanked God for the blessing of my child, my Jesus. And then Jesus began to cry, and cry, and cry, and cry, and cry, and cry. He was a baby, so I'd expected this, but I had no idea he'd need to be fed every 3 hours and changed over 400 times a day, and that he would cry, and cry, and cry, and cry, and cry, and cry. So first thing was first, we needed a swaddling cloth. Luckily, Mary had brought one from home just in case, and then he'd need a place to sleep. Now, as you can imagine, there was no crib in the barn, just a bunch of hay and a nosy donkey. But Jesus needed a place to sleep. So we found a manger in the corner, we got it, brushed it out, and we let the little guy sleep. The donkey was a little angry that we had confiscated his manger, but I told him to deal with it. The first night was pretty rough. Mary was tired from labor, and I was tired from travel. As soon as Jesus was born, people started arriving. Angels, wise men, shepherds, the innkeeper and his wife, you name it, they were there. That, coupled with Jesus' midnight snacks, caused for many a sleepless night for Mary and myself. So, when God came to me in a dream and told me that I should flee to Egypt, I thought I was going to cry, and cry, and cry, and cry, and cry. I mean, we were exhausted. How could we just get up and go to Egypt? But God usually means business when he calls you to a task, so I figured we better get moving. We said goodbye to the innkeeper, gathered up Jesus and our belongings, and began to make our way towards Egypt. You see, God told me that Herod felt threatened by Jesus and wanted to destroy him, so I had to do everything in my power to protect him. And so, a year later, here we are, still hiding out. I don't know how much longer we're going to be here. We're just waiting. It's been really hard on Mary being away from her family. You know, quite frankly, it's been hard on me too. But whenever I get discouraged, I remember God gave me a choice. I made a choice. I didn't have to say yes when the angel came to me that night. I could have said no. I could have left like I planned, but I chose to stay. I chose to be Jesus' father. I chose to believe that he is the Messiah, and I have chosen to do whatever I have to do to protect him. God gives us those choices, you know. Yes, he has a plan, and his plan is perfect, but it's up to you and I to follow that plan, to say yes to that plan. And God's plan is not always the easiest way, you know. It would have been much easier for me to leave Mary and Jesus like I planned. I could have lived a normal life. I could have been free of so much responsibility and fear, but I didn't leave, because that's not what God wanted. We're all going to be faced with those choices, and when we are, all we have to do is ask and listen carefully, and we will know what God wants from us. It doesn't always take an angel standing outside of your window in the night to hear the voice of God. Sometimes it's just a knowing feeling, a sense of calm, a whisper in your ear. You can hear his voice in the bird's song, or in a gust of wind, or in the falling snow. God's voice is everywhere, and all you have to do is listen, and you will know what his will is for your life. Well, Matthew, I've got to get going. I promised Mary I'd be home in time to read Jesus a bedtime story. Hey, you know, when your book comes out, I'll be sure to read it to him. How about that? And then he'll know the story of his birth. Then the whole world will know the story of his birth. You know, Matthew, I think your book may be part of God's plan. But God's greatest plan of all is Jesus. Yes, he's God's son, and Mary and I are his earthly mother and father. But Jesus belongs to all of us. He was sent to earth for every single one of us, and all you have to do is believe, and you will be forgiven. But it is your choice. It's up to you, but it's his plan, and it is his will. And that night, when God blessed the earth with this most beautiful gift, that night that changed my life forever, that night that I decided that I would follow God's plan, that night. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
On Your Own Home Furnishings is locally owned and operated by Dan Stevens, offering bedroom furnishings including mattresses and bedding, living room furnishings including sofas, loves, and recliners, dinettes, appliances, and more. Not in stock? We'll order it. King mattresses starting at just $5.99, queen mattresses starting at $4.99, and adjustable beds with queen memory foam starting at $14.99. Great prices, brand names, cash or payments, free delivery, $20 for referrals. Located at 315 4th Street Southwest. Call 256-734-4545. We make it easy, you make it happen.
Hi, I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
With classic bolognese behind you, there are racks of lamb ahead. There are tartlets to take on, and crazy knife skills to perfect. There is you and your muse, the appliance brand more chefs choose. Chefs choose KitchenAid for their homes more than any other brand. And when every machine does incredible things, there's so much more to make.
Welcome back to the show. This is the part of the show where we typically would give away some prizes, but with it being Merry Christmas,
yes, everybody's got enough.
Everybody's got enough prizes for the day. But keep your eyes and ears open because we will be giving some away next week, beginning on Monday. But let's go ahead and roll with our merchant ads today.
Pay attention. It's like studying for a test.
Exactly. Deb's Bookstore. It's your hometown bookstore just down the road. You can get a free mug with the purchase of a $25 gift certificate right now at Deb's Bookstore.
Not right now. She's probably closed.
She's probably closed.
Grand Point Pharmacy does coffee and gifts, and they also make managing your prescriptions easy because managing your health is hard enough. You can check out your Christmas gift ideas if you're one of those people that hasn't done all your shopping yet.
Berkeley Bob's, it's a coffee house and whole earth store. They also have a complete espresso bar and organic fair trade shade grown specialty coffees and bulk teas.
Pizza Hut of Coleman offers their all-you-can-eat lunch buffet with a new featured pizza every day from 11 to 2 p.m. Now only $5.99. Their Sunday night buffet is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Cotton State Barns, buy or rent to own, and no credit check. Guess what? You're approved. Barns starting at $14.96. They also offer everything you see there at the right side of the screen, located on 278.
Night Free Insurance is located on 1st Avenue Southeast and Suite 100, and they've been providing insurance coverage for over 3 generations. You can visit them on the web at night-freeinsurance.com.
Mr. Hicks Menswear and Formal Wear, it's Coleman's only men's specialty store for suits and sport coats. They also offer a great variety of men's shirts and pants, as well as everything to go and accessorize with.
You've counted on Mullins Body Shop for over 50 years for your auto body repair and service, and you can count on them today. You can call Sunny, Stacy, Beth, or Jim at 734-1353.
Hair by Loretta, she is a color specialist and she does hair care for the whole family. She offers everything that you see there. Call and make for an appointment, or you can just go in and visit her.
Tires for Less does oil changes, minor engine repair. They replace shocks and brakes, and they do alignments in addition to providing Bridgestone and Firestone tires. They're located on Highway 31.
Frostings, the flavors of the month include Holiday Peppermint, M&M Snowball, which is a coconut, and gingerbread. They are open at all the available times on the right side of the screen. Go check out them today.
Steel Orchard offers the highest quality products at the lowest possible price since 1985, and I'm sure they have some baked goods still available for those after Christmas and New Year's parties. That is Steel Orchard.
Tommy Warhurst is your local farmer's insurance agent located next to Specialty Pharmacy. Call today for your free quote or visit thewarhurstagency.com.
Mad Dog Mike's Famous Barbecue is located inside the Berlin Quick Stop, and they feature the $14.99 Family Barbecue Pack. That includes a pound of meat, 2 16-ounce sides, and 4 buns. That's in the Fairview area.
Casa Cafe specials every day include tacos, fajitas, burritos, and more. They also have a buffet on Fridays and Sundays, located on Main Avenue in Coleman. That's Casa Cafe.
Chesley Oaks Golf Course. They are an 18-hole golf course with a full practice facility and beautifully manicured bent greens. They're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week, except possibly today. I'm pretty sure they're closed today.
Earl's Body Shop, voted best automotive repair in Coleman. They offer a variety of towing opportunities, large and small, local and long distance, and 24-hour. Go check them out. They are on Highway 31 North in Coleman.
The Red Door Emporium and Art Cafe serves breakfast and lunch, and it is artfully delicious. You can visit them Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, or Saturday, 7 to 1. They will save you a seat. They're located next to the Coleman Times.
And the Blizzard of the Month is Candy Cane Chill. They are offering this for this month only. We had a very fun song at our singer show called Candy Cane Lane. That's actually what it made me think of.
BeFit is a fitness facility in downtown Coleman. It's located next to Renard's Gallery. It's $100 per month, and that's month to month. There is no contract, and your membership includes a personal trainer.
Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center, while we're on the subject of fitness, they have tons of fitness opportunities, including everything you see there. They also have day passes available. Go check out the Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center. All right, those are our merchant ads for the day. Of course, like we said, no prizes to be given away and no Money Matters today.
That's right.
But we will start all of that back on Monday. And don't go away, because we're going to come back and we're actually going to have a book read to us by Miss Deb Lasley.
So, it's going to be The Texas Night Before Christmas. And this is a fun one. I've never read this book before.
Well, stay tuned so you can check that out, because we'll be right back after this.
Shining, feels like a secret that's worth hiding, but I want to share with the whole world, 'cause every girl deserves to feel like the luckiest girl. Can't you see?
That's how fast the health information technology profession is projected to grow this decade. That's how much a health information technician can make in the first year. Who will you be? Be one of us and get in a Wallace state of mind. That's how many registered nurses the national job market will need in this decade. Will you be one of them? Across the country, that's the median annual pay for RNs. Be one of us and get in a Wallace state of mind.
As soon as you've conquered coq au vin, there's chocolate to souffle. There's baklava to build from scratch, and béarnaise to top epic fillets. There is you and your guts, and heat that you can trust. KitchenAid Even Heat technology gives you incredible control over sautéing, melting, and simmering, and the most even baking across all racks. And when everything you try turns out, there's so much more to make.
Hi, I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Cullman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
Texas, night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas in a cold wintry fog, nary a critter was moving, nor a lone prairie dog. Then from out of the north the breeze gave a stir, an icy cold blast swirled the fog in a blur. A blue Texas northern roared over the plains, the cold fairly whistled through the loose window panes. I poked at the fireplace to stir up a flame. The embers glowed redder, but the cold stayed the same. Ma fixed up our dinner to be ready next day and thought about Christmas a few hours away. Our scuffed boots were assembled on the floor pair by pair where Santy would find them, for he soon would be there. The young'uns were bundled down snug in their covers, a sprout of a girl and her 2 older brothers. So me and my long johns and ma in her gown warmed up by the fire afore we laid ourselves down. Then from out on the range there came such a ruckus, I ran to the window to see what the fuss was. Through the blue winter blizzard a scene came to sight. I squinted to see, for there weren't much light. There a stomping and a snorting and pawing the ground were 8 scroungy longhorns stampeding around. In front of a wagon piled full as could be with boxes and bundles as high as a tree. Then a bellowing yell soon set them all straight from a fat little old ramrod who put fear in the 8. Well, they weren't really scared. No harm would he cause, for their longhorn head honcho was old Santy Claus. He got their attention. He called them by name. Hey, Leadfoot and Walleye, get up there, Culhane. Come on, Gimp and Flop-Ear and Scarface, start dragging. Get on, Sam and High Hops, let's move this here wagon. Old Leadfoot, he bellered and lifted his head, then straight on they trampled through Ma's flower bed. They laid the gate flat and the clothesline went too. Nothing stood in the way as they flat-footed through. Santy pulled them up short on top of the roof after wrecking the porch with them clodhopper hoofs. They rocked our side shanty, the dirt sifted down, and then, through the chimney, Santy came with a bound. He was dressed all in rawhide with a Stetson on top. His big Texas boots hit the floor with a clop. He shook his great belly and stomped each foot, which knocked off a shower of mud, ash, and soot. His eyes were both squinty, and his skin was like leather from too much exposure to the raw Texas weather. He looked tough as a horseshoe, but I felt no alarm, 'cause a wink of his eye showed he'd do us no harm. A food bag of toys he flung from his back. With nary a word, he opened his sack. He filled all the boots and piled them up high, then looked out the window and up at the sky. The cold Texas northern still whistled and blew, but more young'uns was waiting. His work wasn't through. It was hard just to leave and walk through the door to face all them longhorns and the cold as before. He drank some hot mud and hunched close to the heat to soak up the warmth and thaw his cold feet. He could no longer dally or put off the chore, so he gave us a wink and pushed through the door. He prodded the longhorns to get on the go, and the wagon took off through the fog and the snow. And he called over the norther before he went out of sight, "Merry Christmas, you hear? Y'all have a good night." I like that.
Finders Keepers is a unique and fun shopping experience. Lovely antiques, collectibles, or vintage items, we have what you're looking for at Finders Keepers in downtown Coleman. Furniture, repurposed items, and treasures from the past. They all make the store a fun place to shop. Fashion accessories and even original art are offered by local artisans. It's truly a unique shopping experience. Merry Christmas from us all at Finders Keepers.
Hi, I'm Jay Mullins with Premier Bank.
And I'm Jacob Mullins.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services to the citizens of Coleman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And remember, the same friendly personal service, and we're open on Saturdays.
Own Your Own Home Furnishings is locally owned and operated by Dan Stevens, offering bedroom furnishings including mattresses and bedding, living room furnishings including sofas, loves, and recliners, dinettes, appliances, and more. Not in stock? We'll order it. King mattresses starting at just $5.99, queen mattresses starting at $4.99, and adjustable beds with queen memory foam starting at $14.99. Great prices, brand names, cash or payments, free delivery, $20 for referrals. Located at 315 4th Street Southwest. Call 256-734-4545. We make it easy, you make it happen.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. The Red Cross volunteers, they are looking for volunteers, for their disaster action team to aid in the relief of those who've lost their homes to fires, flooding, or tornadoes. If you want to find out more or if you want to volunteer, you can contact the Coleman County Red Cross office at the number listed at the bottom of the screen. And the Red Door Emporium and Office Max say warm coats are like warm hugs. You can give a kid a hug through January 15th, and they're asking you to donate your clean, gently used winter coats. They can be infant sizes up to size for age 14. You can drop them off at the Red Door Emporium. The Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center is hosting a Community Wellness Day on Saturday, January 3rd. It's going to start at 7 a.m. and it'll end at 1 p.m. They're going to be offering free events throughout the day, such as a health fair with featured speakers on health and nutrition, and they're offering free fitness and aquatics classes. And if you'd like to share a community billboard with us, you can visit us on the web at channel2coleman.com. You can call us at 256-734-7399 or be our friend on Facebook at Channel 2 Coleman. And we'd like to wish a happy birthday to Bob Moody. And of course, we'd also like to say happy birthday to Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Thank you.
It's your big day.
So much.
2014 years old.
Something like that. And so, of course, those names are going to be put into the drawing to win the ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. That'll be happening tomorrow.
And let's take one last look at the weather, brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet. Make the switch to Mitch. The average for, not the average, the high today is going to be 48 degrees. The overnight low, 35 degrees. Tomorrow, 55 with a 50% chance of rain. But let's not worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today. Enjoy your family time.
Yes.
We're going to go get to spend some time with our families today. And just, from everybody here at Channel 2, we're going to say Merry Christmas. Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
From Dennis and Jacqueline and Joseph and Megan in the booth to even Bailey. See, we just want to say Merry Christmas to you and your family. Yeah, and so have a good day, and we hope to see you tomorrow. But one last thing we have for today, we're going to have Deb Leslie read a very precious little book.
It's called The Littlest Angel, and it's a real precious story. I cried when she was here in the studio recording it. It's very, very sweet, and it's really, it really drives home the meaning of Christmas and the reason that we celebrate.
Right.
And so
before she cries, let's go ahead let's go ahead and roll that film from Miss Deb. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas.
The Littlest Angel by Charles Tazwell. Just sit back and relax. Once upon a time, many, many years ago, as time is calculated by men, but which was only yesterday in the celestial calendar of heaven, there was, in paradise, a most miserable, thoroughly unhappy, and utterly dejected cherub, who was known throughout heaven as the Littlest Angel. He was exactly 4 years, 6 months, 5 days, 7 hours, and 42 minutes of age when he presented himself to the venerable gatekeeper and waited for admittance to the glorious kingdom of God. Standing defiantly, the littlest angel tried to pretend that he wasn't at all impressed by such unearthly splendor, and that he wasn't at all afraid, but his lower lip trembled, and a tear disgraced him by making a new furrow down his already tear-streaked face, coming to a precipitous halt at the very tip of his small, freckled nose. But that wasn't all. While the kindly gatekeeper was entering the name in his great book, the littlest angel, having left home as usual without a handkerchief, endeavored to hide the telltale evidence by snuffing, a most unangelic sound, which so unnerved the good gatekeeper that he did something he had never before done in all of eternity. He blotted the page. From that moment on, the heavenly peace was never quite the same, and the littlest angel soon became the despair of all the heavenly host. His shrill, ear-splitting whistle resounded at all hours through the golden streets. It startled the patriarch prophets and disturbed their meditations. Yes, and on top of that, he inevitably sang off-key at the singing practice of the heavenly choir, spoiling its ethereal effect. And, being so small, it seemed to take him just twice as long as anyone else to get to nightly prayers. The littlest angel always arrived late and always knocked everyone's wings askew as he darted into his place. Although these flaws in behavior might have been overlooked, the general appearance of the littlest angel was even more disreputable than his deportment. It was first whispered among the seraphim and cherubim, and then said aloud among the angels and archangels that he didn't even look like an angel. And they were all quite correct. He didn't. His halo was permanently tarnished where he held onto it with one hot little chubby hand when he ran, and he was always running. Furthermore, even when he stood very still, it never behaved as a halo should. It was always slipping down over his right eye, or over his left eye, or else, just for pure meanness, slipping off the back of his head and rolling away down some golden street, just so he'd have to chase after it. Yes, and it must be here recorded that his wings were neither useful nor ornamental. All paradise held its breath when the littlest angel perched himself like an unhappy fledgling sparrow on the very edge of a gilded cloud and prepared to take off. He would teeter this way and that, but after much coaxing and a few false starts, he would shut both of his eyes, hold his freckled nose, count up to 303, and then hurl himself slowly into space. However, owing to the regrettable fact that he always forgot to move his wings, the littlest angel always fell head over halo. It was also reported and never denied that whenever he was nervous, which was most of the time, He had the nervous habit of biting his wingtips. Now, anyone can easily understand why the littlest angel would, sooner or later, have to be disciplined. And so, on an eternal day of an eternal month in the year eternal, he was directed to present his small self before an angel of the peace. The littlest angel combed his hair, dusted his wings, and scrambled into an almost clean garment, and then, with a heavy heart, trudged his way to the place of judgment. He tried to postpone the dreaded ordeal by loitering along the street of the guardian angels, pausing a few timeless moments to minutely inspect the long list of new arrivals, although all heaven knew that he couldn't read a word. And he idled more than several immortal moments to carefully examine a display of harps, although everyone in the celestial city knew that he couldn't play a note. But at length, and at last, he slowly approached a doorway, which was surmounted by a pair of golden scales, signifying that heavenly justice was dispensed within. To the littlest angel's great surprise, he heard a merry voice singing. The littlest angel removed his halo and breathed upon it heavily, then polished it upon his robe, a procedure which added nothing to his already untidy appearance, and then tiptoed in. The singer, who was known as the understanding angel, looked down at the small culprit, and the littlest angel instantly tried to make himself invisible by the ingenious process of withdrawing his head into his robe, very much like a turtle. And at that, the singer laughed, a jolly, heartwarming sound, and said, "Oh, so you're the one who's been making heaven so unheavenly. Come here, little cherub, and tell me all about it." The littlest angel ventured a furtive look, first one eye and then the other. Suddenly, almost before he knew it, he was standing close to the understanding angel and was explaining how very difficult it was for a boy who suddenly finds himself transformed into an angel. Yes, and no matter what the archangel said, he'd only swung once, well, twice. Oh, all right then, he'd swung 3 times on the golden gates, but that was just for something to do. That was the whole trouble. There wasn't anything for a small angel to do, and he was so very homesick. Oh, not that paradise wasn't beautiful, but the earth was beautiful too. Wasn't it created by God himself? Why, there were trees to climb and brooks to fish and caves to play at Pirate Chief and the swimming hole and the sun and rain and dark and dawn and thick brown dust so soft and warm beneath your feet. The understanding angel smiled, and in his eyes was a long-forgotten memory of another small boy from long ago. Then he asked the littlest angel what would make him most happy in paradise. The cherub thought for a moment and whispered in his ear, "There's a box. I left it under my bed back home. If only I could have that." The understanding angel nodded his head. "You shall have it," he promised, and a fleet-winged heavenly messenger was instantly dispatched to bring the box to paradise. And then, in all those timeless days that followed, everyone wondered at the great change in the littlest angel, for among all the cherubs in God's kingdom, he was the most happy. His conduct was above the slightest reproach. His appearance was all that was the most fastidious could wish for, and on excursions to Elysian fields, it could be said, and truly said, he flew like an angel. Then it came to pass that Jesus, the Son of God, was to be born to Mary in Bethlehem in Judea. And as the glorious tidings spread throughout paradise, all the angels rejoiced, and their voices were lifted to herald the miracle of miracles, the coming of the Christ child. The angels and archangels, the seraphim and cherubim, the gatekeeper, the ringmaker, yes, even the halo smith, put aside their usual tasks to prepare their gifts for the blessed infant. All but the littlest angel. He sat himself down on the topmost step of the golden stairs and anxiously waited for inspiration. What could he give that would be most acceptable to the Son of God? At one time he dreamed of composing a lyric hymn of adoration, but the littlest angel was woefully wanting in musical talent. Then he grew tremendously excited over writing a prayer that would live forever in the hearts of men, because it would be the first prayer ever to be heard by the Christ child. But the littlest angel was lamentably lacking in literate skill. What, oh what, could a small angel give that would please the holy infant? The time of the miracle was very close at hand when the littlest angel at last decided on his gift. Then, on that day of days, he proudly brought it from its hiding place behind a cloud, and humbly, with downcast eyes, placed it before the throne of God. It was only a small, rough, unsightly box, but inside were all those wonderful things that even a child of God would treasure. A small, rough, unsightly box lying among all those other glorious gifts from all the angels of paradise, gifts of such rare and radiant splendor and breathless beauty that heaven and all the universe were lighted by the mere reflection of their glory. And when the littlest angel saw this, he suddenly knew that his gift to God's child was irreverent, and he devoutly wished he might reclaim his shabby gift. It was ugly. It was worthless. If only he could hide it away from the sight of God before it was even noticed. But it was too late. The hand of God moved slowly over all that bright array of shining gifts, and then paused, and then dropped, and then came to rest on the lowly gift of the littlest angel. The littlest angel trembled as the box was opened, and there, before the eyes of God and all his heavenly host, was what he offered to the Christ child. And what was his gift to the blessed infant? Well, there was a butterfly with golden wings captured one bright summer day on the hills above Jerusalem, and a sky blue egg from a bird's nest in the olive tree that stood to shade his mother's kitchen door. Yes, and 2 white stones found on a muddy riverbank where he and his friends had played like small brown beavers, and at the bottom of the box, a limp, tooth-marked leather strap once worn as a collar by his mongrel dog, who had died, and as he had lived in absolute love and infinite devotion. The littlest angel wept hot, bitter tears, for now he knew that instead of honoring the Son of God, he had been most blasphemous. Why had he ever thought that the box was so wonderful? Why had he dreamed that such utterly useless things would be loved by the blessed infant? In frantic terror, he turned to run and hide from the divine wrath of the Heavenly Father, but he stumbled and he fell, and with a horrified wail and clatter of halo, rolled in a ball of misery to the very foot of the heavenly throne. There was an ominous and dreadful silence in the celestial city, a silence complete and undisturbed save for the heartbroken sobbing of the littlest angel. Then suddenly the voice of God, like divine music, rose and swelled throughout paradise, and the voice of God spoke, saying, "Of all the gifts of all the angels, I find that this small box pleases me most. Its contents are of earth and of men, and my son is born to be king of both. These are the things my son too will know and love and cherish, and then regretfully will have to leave behind him when his task is done. I accept this gift in the name of the child Jesus, born of Mary this night in Bethlehem." There was a breathless pause, and then the rough, unsightly box of the littlest angel began to glow with a bright, unearthly light. Then the light became a lustrous flame, and the flame became a radiant brilliance that blinded the eyes of all the angels. None but the littlest angel saw it rise from its place before the throne of God, and he, and only he, watched it arch away from heaven and shed its clear, white, beckoning light over a stable where a child was born. And there it shone on that night of miracles, and its light was reflected down the centuries, deep in the heart of all mankind. Yet earthly eyes, blinded too by its splendor, could never know that the lowly gift of the littlest angel was what all men would call forever the shining star of Bethlehem. Merry Christmas.